Hello. So I'm back from 2 weeks away, and I've completely forgotten what it was that I said I would do. I have done some work off camera as well as on another video that I uploaded, but there was no audio on that one because the microphone volume, recording volume, was a bit too low, so it wasn't worth having the audio track of that one. So I've done a bit more planning, even since after that video I played for about 20 minutes tonight. And I promise that it will start to get nice soon, certainly more interesting, I hope anyway. It's taken me a lot longer to do this than I would normally spend, because I'm spending most of my time talking and getting tongue-tied, but that is what it is. So I've deviated from my plan a little bit and put a motorway in here, or a highway. And that's what we have now. I'm quite heavy on junctions here, but I will do as my sign here suggested and do that in to start with. A lot of things like zoning and utilities, well, except for maybe the fancy power plants, I'll definitely do off camera, and a lot of the planning. I won't record everything, but I will record more of the interesting things. But you know, we all find different things interesting. I actually have sat and watched people zone on videos before, all sorts of things that some might find boring, and sometimes you just put it on a faster speed and you don't have to like it. I think the value in these is that I enjoy watching other people's, and sometimes something as described in the manual is a lot more complicated than it seems, so if you learn how to do something, then try and share it. And the reason I'm doing this is purely as a hunch. But when I tried to do this off camera last night, for some reason it continued the height transition further down the highway. So if this is a complete disaster, this is just another attempt, then I will actually go to the region view and abort, because I don't really want to do the whole introduction again. But there we go, that's alright. Now on my note it did say network widening mod. I'm saving this because I don't want to have to do it again. It's something I've only started recently playing with, and I was retrofitting my previous region, which as the summer will eventually go, I might go back to refitting, but we will see. So I'm going to try and do something I've never done before, and I'm going to try and do something I've never done before, but something that I've not really done. So I'm going to go for an avenue. I do like this 6-lane avenue. I've got to remember how to do neighbour pieces. I think it's much the same way as the real highway is now. I think I do play the game. I do play the game a lot. It gets to the point where I think I need to play it even more. No, I think this is a job. You put it in and then you place that over the top. So this avenue is a road avenue. I'm in two minds whether to use them more. I started using them whilst retrofitting. I think I would use them more if it worked better with the roundabouts, or there was a roundabout specifically for them. The junctions are a bit fiddly. I'm not criticising, by the way, it's just my experience. And I feel like pushing the boat out even more and doing some fractional angle, but I think that might be. I think that might be pushing it. So I'm envisioning this being a more busy junction, but you don't have support. So let's go back and do the. Let's go back and do the A1. I was thinking when I was doing the other junctions a few weeks back that, you know, you see so many beautiful slip roads people do, and I always tend to think, oh, wouldn't it be great to have that? But you know, you either think, oh, it's just too fiddly, or wow, that works. I was expecting that to be trouble. Yeah, I mean, I'll definitely play a bit more. I'll leave that there. I don't know how predictable that's going to be. Looks like I've made a boo-boo by doing that. There's always something, isn't there? I thought I would avoid the problem by doing that last, and sometimes you need to be more trusting, I guess. Or I need to be more trusting. Let's see. I just wanted to get it past there, really. There we go. I think this is going to end up being quite a choke point. Well, I do like going back and retrospectively upgrading my cities and stuff. Then get compelled, and I tend not to do anything else. But I would most definitely do more if with the network modding mod, if it did integrate better with other aspects of the game. I do recall a few weeks back somebody on the Facebook group for SimCity4 seemed to be exalting the I'm in the wrong menu of city skylines. Let's look at that if it's in there. Let me just. No, I seem to have got lost. I got a Steam voucher for my birthday, and I considered buying it because it was about £12. I'm not completely against the game. I just, like I think I said in a comment, it might have been taken the wrong way, but you know, it looked very nice. But I've got SimCity. I didn't finish reading review. It, not that I hated it or anything. It's just got put on my list of things for another day. That's what I'm looking for, transition piece. So yeah, we're going to need a lot more space than we have. So I considered using the voucher that I had to buy the game, but then I saw that a lot of the add-ons packs, now I'm sure there are community maintained ones, and I'm sure that they're all very good, but some of the add-on packs, you know, simple things like, you know, mass transit were very expensive. I mean, it's not that I don't want to pay for things, I'm happy to pay for things, especially if I'm going to use them intensively, but yeah, I wasn't so enthralled. I wasn't so enthralled to spend my birthday money on an add-in pack to give me something that I've already got. Wow, this looks interesting. It definitely needs some time offline. Play about. I usually play about between regions. I mean, dismiss any suggestion that I know what I'm doing. I'm a very keen amateur. I just enjoy playing the game. Okay. I do find that you have to do things regularly to make the most of things, and I play the game a lot, but until recently I tended not to get out of my comfort zone. There we go. Something quite straightforward, made to look incredibly more difficult than it needs to be. I will plop down some, yeah, I like to put the little roundabout edges there, just to, especially industrial parks, to I don't know, I imagine it would be easier for lorries to just turn around than an abrupt end. So that's definitely save worthy. I mean, I'll be doing some work in the next tiles as well before I press play, I think, just to have something to go to. For jobs and people coming in. Whilst I was away, I wasn't in Milan, but I was thinking a lot about Milan and the lovely station. I checked again in SimCity4 or SimCity4 Devotion, and it didn't have it. So I mean, this is the nearest to it, but I imagine that would be an absolute whopper. And to have high speed going in there would be a dream, I think. And I could see, obviously I've mentioned the tutorial for hybrid rail, and I watched it again whilst I was away one evening before going to sleep, and I'm very interested to give it a try, but I'm not sure at the moment. So there we go. I want to do another junction with a neighbour connector, so I've pretty much decided that I only want high capacity neighbour connections, so I won't be doing any roads and I won't be doing any normal avenues, except for example here, where potentially there's a choke point there. But I always find that people don't use my motorways when I set them up, so I'll be quite insistent that they do. And here in the downtown I planned out a little bit more. For example, here the tram will come off, probably cross over, probably, I think it might be here, but could well be there, come out here and then go into an underground, Grand Rail to underground, so that there's plenty of good things to come. I'm not going to be rushing to turn anything off. And also in the next tile, I'm going to really try and get the functional C ports working. It's something I mentioned in the last video that the audio got cut out of, is that I made one in my previous region, and it was pretty much just eye candy. I saw a comment about that online. I've always found it to be a dependency hell, and the documentation, I don't know, it's one of those things that needs someone to do a really good slow YouTube video, and it's not that I'm trying to say I'm the guy that's going to do that, because I'm probably not. I'm going to work out how to do it, and I'll probably record that, but that's not I'm not trying to compete with anyone. That's not my ambition. Like I said previously, it's always just been, I get a lot of people saying, you know, how did you do this? They're a bit like the comments previously with the underpasses. So anyway, I'm going to try the flex width transitions, because I did try them previously and I couldn't really get on with them. The other thing I will do is I will zoom in a bit more. I think that's what we need there. Following the arrows. No, I've completely messed that up. It's possible that some people do some wonderful things. Well, how about that? And it can be intimidating. I understand that. I mean, that's why I avoided using the network add-on mod for a good 10 years or more. I was quite happy with vanilla, but eventually I got to what was the point of wasting all this time building nice things in order to there we go, lane add. That sounds good. I'll just press the tab a few times. I'll kind of line that up. That looks lined up to me. Well, there we go. That's pretty much first time. I'm quite happy with that. So this is my idea, that it'll be an express route out of the city, no junction, just get to the port for you. With your goods and so forth. Probably have a junction there to take some traffic away. I could have done that with a B, because I'm only using a 6S there. But so right here it's a bit tight, so I'm actually going to save that. No, the other thing about the video the other night is I actually only had about, I don't know, it's about 20 minutes actually, and I ended up playing for well over an hour. I did take a break in the middle, that's why there was a cutout. I was very upset to see that the open shot was causing my PC to blue screen again. But I did it on my old gaming computer, or an old media center machine that I've just got up here. Windows 7 on it. So just while I'm thinking and talking, I apologise a lot at the time. I will stop talking. This is potentially candidate for the network widening mod. I don't really want to move that over. I like how this looks. Although it would make sense to be straight, but that will cause a lot of problems later down the line. Let's think. I could do some nice curves here, so we can curve it, even curve it around. A lot of the time it's just a case of trying it, see what you like. There is a right way and a wrong way to do things, and I think this is going to be the wrong way right here, and I'll say why. If you see just at the end of the curve there's a slight divot. For some reason it was happening to me last night when I was just doing the curves around here. The entire curve will take that gradient at the level. There you go. So it has to be absolutely flat beforehand. Will I get away with it? Well, it looks like I got away with it there. So I think maybe if it's too close there or something like that, it will complain. Okay. So do I want to do the network widening mod here? This is going to be a good place. We have lots of rivers. We also have this railway line and junction. Although I was thinking of changing that. I don't want to keep doing that, but I do need to have a road from this motorway, or a very large avenue, down to here. I'm thinking now might be a good time to do it, but I think up here would be, that might be something for another time. I think I'll deal with this one for now. So I'm going to curve this, I'll zoom in, curve this one and rename it, rotate. Should probably have done it the other way actually. Yes, as much as I like that curve, it's not doing it for me. It's not doing what I need it to do. I could move this motorway, but I like the idea of it being tight up to the railway lines. So it might work better here as well, because there's quite a lot of avenue going on. I'll tell you what I'm going to do though. I'm going to put this in here. So I've got no time restrictions tonight really. It's only 9:30 here. I want to chill out after a busy day of work. I'm possibly being punished for having the audacity to have gone away for a few weeks. I say that jokingly, of course. I like to try to leave a gap because it's good for roads. Now, let me save that for let's we'll shift tab as well to get to this one, and we'll try that here. I have to admit, it has been a while since I've looked at the documentation for the NAM, so it might be possible to do something with the underpasses and avenues and that sort of thing. I could curve it to come there perhaps, but I also like the idea of another road along here, so I might make this a neighbour connection, although there's probably going to be a port there, so I was thinking it would probably come back here, so I would need another kind of road connection. But what I'm going to do now is just put this in here and we'll see what happens. I don't think I'd want to drive on it. Be a bit too crowded for me. I'm one of these people who deliberately go the wrong way, not the wrong way, but the long way, just for least path of traffic resistance. Don't know if the NAM would like me very much if this was real life. Again, what I'm trying to do here is new for me. I'm just trying to see what I can get away with, really. Turn lanes on a curve are asking for trouble. So that is probably not doable. It's taking a while to think about what we're doing. So I've probably got looks like it wants to continue. What does it look like? I might have to convert it to avenue. Something else I have to do fairly soon is some ferry ports. And I'll have to plot a lot of bus stops and stations. Do that sort of thing after I plot the road system. I'm not sure how this is going to turn out. It's making the computer think a bit. So I haven't rambled enough nonsense already. I'll have to do some more while we wait. I'm almost scared to do the next one. I think we will have to admit that that's off to a loser. We'll have to change that to an avenue. So let's use the eraser. Oh god, so slow now. Oh, it's another 10 seconds. Can live with it. So I'm going to have to take it back a little bit actually, because we are going to have turn lanes. That looks like real good fun, isn't it? Actually, there are some roads like that in London. The A4, as you head out of London, there's, going back to my childhood, there was a PC World along there, and it's all the way down the wrong end of London, but it was one of the closest ones. We had family friends that lived nearby, and there was, ooh, nasty. That's good. And in order to get there, you'll be, obviously we drive on the left, but you weren't able to do a right turn, so you'd actually have to go here, turn around, go that way. So I could potentially leave it like that. Again, there's turn lanes there, so that's just going to end up looking daft. So let's cull that. The solution isn't so absurd. I could just use a default. Bend. If I do that, a little part of me dies. I love my curves. I don't seem to be quite happy about that either. It's not like roads either, where you can make them smoother. Oh, I really don't like that. I mean, I know one of these are going to have to move. And that's possibly too much. Ooh. I did actually see some good roundabouts this morning. Yesterday evening, I was playing. So I know I said that earlier. I was going to play around with them. And I kind of like these. So let's give ourselves some room. What's the original one? I don't much like them. As you can see in the videos that I was making last night, I seem to be really struggling to have a new roundabout yesterday. Sorry, on Monday. I apologise. And this is not going to work either. Well, as much as that was fun, I think we know what we're going to have to do. I didn't put anything at the other end, and just relaxing messing about, right? I mean, I'm anti-grid as much as the next one. I like some grids, but I also do like to have some variety. But sometimes you just got to admit when you're behind. So let's do this here so that I don't end up being off alignment. So that's one side and that's one side. After having done the flex pieces first time, which was so that's lane add. And we'll come here and do lane drop. Ooh, I've done it the wrong way around. That's a shame. I think the tooltip doesn't help. So lane add. I want it to be fairly soon. This is lane drop, much better. All right. This might be. Sorry, I've gone quiet again because I'm going to use my so-called brain. I was considering here anyway, turn lanes, so it probably wants to change a bit further out. But let's just doing that. Yeah, so it's important to remember that there are very good people out there, but you don't have to compete with them. You know, some people make it look so easy and other people give up. I'm not feeling like giving up. I'll freely admit when I'm biting off more than I can chew, but I've done this, so I'm going to move it a bit further away and then we'll try again. So lane drop. Sorry, wrong button. This is what I was actually spending a lot of time when the puzzle pieces got replaced a few versions back. It just didn't seem to be very intuitive to me. I can try that trick, but I don't think that's going to work. Well, I'm not using a puzzle piece. I wonder if you can. I'm asking for trouble. I'm asking for trouble. No, but I mean, it worked before, first time as well. I mean, maybe if I do that first. I mean, I've just spotted what I've done wrong. Yeah, so back to my original point. It's almost just as important to see someone not doing it. I mean, when you look at my cities, come the end, it's a case of, oh, look at that. I mean, it takes a lot of time and effort, and redoing things because you mess things up, and redoing things just because you just don't like it, what you've done. So what I've done wrong here is I put the starter piece in the wrong way. So that should be a lot better now. And let's lane add. Right, that should be. I don't think that's what I was doing previously when I had trouble with this. I think it was a case of me just, oh look, this is flex, it'll be easier than rotating for puzzle pieces, it's right there. And I get that one day the puzzle pieces won't be there and you probably end up having to redo your city or something like that, so I'll try and embrace the change. I mean, I didn't spend very long on it. So there we go. Spent nearly 1 million of the 3 million simoleons that I gave myself to prep this city. I don't want to get too close to that. Okay. Now I know turn lanes are usually something to behold when people do them, so I'll do that slow, step by step, but I will do that another time. I don't know how long I've been going for. 41 minutes already, can you believe it? I spend a lot of my time not doing much. I feel like I'm going to divert that railway. So much so I've got the gap already here. You know what I'm gonna do. It's to make the game perpetually slow whenever I eventually start plopping railway stations with integrated subways. It's going to be fun recording that whilst editing it. Have I gone too far? No, there we go. I'm tempted to not put the subway in just yet. Oops, sorry, wrong one. But if I don't, I will only forget. So I was watching some other videos. I'm not sure, sometime in the spring. At some point I'll just link to the people's videos because some of the usernames are tricky to pronounce and I wouldn't want to offend anyone, but give credit where it's due. But they had some really nice sort of, I'm going to say North American style because I'm imagining it's American, but I've only ever really gone to Canada and they had very much the same style, but lots of sort of big department stores with ample parking, but not shopping malls, but that sort of feel. And I will probably do the same there. Yeah, that just looks wrong. I don't even want to try that, and that's not going to work as the curve. But what I can do is have that railway line on this side. So I think that's the plan for now is to get this up there, and then we'll work on the train tracks, and then possibly call it a day. And tomorrow evening I might, if I would help if I click the right menu item, I will do some more sort of normal avenue planning. Right here now, I'm going to use the eraser in case I have any trouble with the gradients again. No, for Verona, so that was the last place I was in Italy last week, was Verona, which is a special place for me. Incorrect menu, bruv. Okay. I'm regretting using the 8. I can't get more off lanes off it. I'm also leaving plenty of space either side. I'll choose to put a railway line or something later on. As I was saying back, funnily enough, about the turn lanes, the default A1s are very how can I say, good luck trying to get through there onto the motorway or the highway from there. But I was in Tuscany as well. I do travel around quite a lot by train. I love Italian trains, and some of the road junctions, because I was going from Siena to another little town that I couldn't pronounce and do justice. My Italian is very rusty because I don't practice. I was talking to a friend of mine who was out there. He moved out there a few years ago actually, and once people realise that, you know, I'm going to say I'm English, although I don't class myself as English, again without wanting to offend anyone. Now, did this work last time? I think it worked okay. So long ago now, I can't tell. It was further along here, wasn't it? Yeah, for that neighbour connection, it seems to work. So anyway, once you're there and people realise that obviously English is your first language, and they either decide that it's easier to speak in your tongue, but I also think it's because they want to practice their English, which is perfectly okay as well. But it's annoying when it's the only chance to draw. It's your only way of practicing Italian. 8 paths. Maybe I spelt it wrong. Draw paths. There we go. Okay, that seems to work. So we are okay. Yeah, I'd love to make this a double, and maybe I'll look into it. I've got something to play with Oh, that is, as Cleveland Brown would say, that is nasty. Well, no, that needs immediate remedying. And that has been remedied. There's actually, I was doing a search for SimCity whilst I was away, and I don't know if it came up on my radar because of where I was, but there was a series in Italian. I hadn't watched. I think I watched a part of an episode. Now, it's slightly concerning. They're up in the air, but aha. Yep, that old trick. How many times have you watched older SimCity4 videos when that was the answer to everything, and you end up watching for 45 minutes into an hour, and then there's a crash to desktop? He says as he presses save, wanting to make it happen. So I'm not sure if there's a better way to cross these, but I'll use those subway conversions. They do seem to have the same capacity as the standard rail, so I don't think we're really losing much. And here's all prepared and ready to go. I don't want it quite so close though. I tend to put these for fake tight junctions. And what we need here is a cross. That's that. I'll be doing lots of these, so if anyone wants to know what it was that I've done, they're more than welcome to. Now, I did have a railway line going across here and to here. Now I kind of want that on this side of the extended avenue, but not right up to it. So let's get the curves. I had it there. I know I could go elevated, so that's what I really need to stay on track with the conversation, so I'll probably put some more of these in if I do decide to put roads or anything to come off there. And the beauty of it is I can actually have another one there perhaps and do funky things. I'll see if we can get that up anywhere. And I do like that going there. I'm imagining that's really a freight line that, you know, some commuters from around here will just use, even though they've got the line here. Should needs looking at the time quickly, we're 55 minutes. I will leave that as far as here, I think. I want to have some sort of intersection. I'm just thinking out loud as to how I will make it. I scrolled up here earlier in error, didn't I? So I want to keep these away from there to sort of stop bleed. I know there are some wonderful people who make wonderful real highway junctions. I have to admit my passion is very much railway for some reason. Also, while I was away, going back to city skylines, that's the reason I've been considering it was not because of the person in the Facebook group, although I've always been interested. Going back to why I stopped reading the review, it was probably about 10 years ago now, or maybe less, 8 years, 2014ish. It was around the time my daughter was born. I was actually reading the review in the hospital a day or two before she was born. And I just decided that I didn't need to read the review because one day I will play it. I was watching some videos by a fellow called Strict Toaster. Now I mention him because it's not impossible to pronounce that one. And one of his cities he did not. I don't know if he's done any recent work, but Nidal, and that was very attractive. So maybe one day I'll do it. I don't think I'll ever be doing videos playing, because firstly that reminds me, actually, something I want to do is some single track rail. I'm thinking of some power stations and ports and what have you that actually do have them. Right, so here go for curves as long as possible. I really have no trouble finding room for nice curves like that. And I'm actually going to, when it comes, keep that going for a while. I've actually got some extra capacity here, so I'll decide where I'm going to put that, because that originally, I think it's the same as up here actually, it spurred off. I'm going to save, and I'm actually going to call it a day now, but I promise that I won't do anything with this off camera. I like to think that decoration of railway junctions and plazas is very much my thing, not necessarily wonderful motorway junctions. I'm getting better at them, it takes a while, but I'm going to end the video with what will probably end up being outtakes. It's another episode of me pushing my luck and seeing what I can do, and without reading documentation or anything like that. So network widening mod. It's not going to be the flex overpasses. I think that's possibly not going to happen. Also, the one tile is not, it's not diagonal, so I'll be in for a bit of a problem there, but that was interesting. I have no idea what this is, the first time I've seen that. I don't think we've got height transitions in here. That looks like fun. 3 lanes down to 2, go down to 1 even, and go back around the other side and come to something from go-karting. Anyhow. Yeah, I've got to do some reading. But this is a very boring edition of trying your luck and hoping for the best if you don't even I mean, yes, I could do it. I need more space. If this works, I'll rejig the railway as necessary to do it. I will also try the real highway. What do you reckon? Nah. Let's try the real highway one, it could be that simple. I think we are onto a loser on this one. Very much happy to be proved wrong. Oh, that is a shame. Unless... Yep, this is turning into a fine episode of Pushing Your Luck. Gotta make sure I put things in the right way. I think this is... I think this is a no-go. I think the luck has been pushed a little bit too far. Well, that doesn't look completely terrible, but it is no good. I wonder if there's a converter. Yeah, I think we're asking for trouble. Yeah. Alright. It's a shame, I was hoping to have this finished. I kind of want a junction there. Underpass. I've done this so many times that I don't think it's possible. Worth a try. I could be giving myself some homework to do. Yeah. Okay. Last few seconds. So we're 1 hour 10 minutes. I think it's not my longest video, but it'll take me a fair while to get this city on the go, that's for certain. suppose I could cheat. Hopefully this. I'm not opposed to some cheating. Got far more railway lines than I had before, which is not a bad thing. And that's not going to let me put that in because I've just got too much railway here. But again, you can't have too much of a good thing. Wow. I've got too much railway everywhere. Apparently there is too much of a good thing. Oh really? Yeah. Really got to ask myself, where is this going now? I mean, if you're going to end up with congestion, you might as well double everything up. Get your capacity in first, and then I won't be here in another year ripping it to pieces and doing the same thing again. I've got some wiggle room there. That is all right. Must be a record of how many things I've demolished and put back together again in such a short time. But you always think, oh, I can do it that little bit better. But we're really coming to the end. I can see that graphic glitch, but I've had worse, so I'm not going to worry about that. So the idea is that it comes through here like this, so I'll put this around here, and again, to stop bleed, I'm going to have to make it come out. Might have to quickly do some fractional angle action. None of that in this city. Again, that's something that I'll do when the terrain really allows it. It's been so long since I've done it. Some of these are very nice. These are obviously new. From the last name, and I've not really looked into them. Sit in here. Nope. I've seen them before. It had FA, I think, written in the title at some point. Well, if worse comes to worse, that's the one. Yes, I don't like these so much because I mean, I would like to get some nice looking catenaries. I always find with these ones that they do tend to, probably because I've downloaded so many of them, it's one with the yellow and the orange I want. There we go. It tends to get a little bit too much, but then I think I deleted some of the mods, some of the excess mods that I had, and they started to look a bit better. I think I've got some. I just gotta look at them really. Do you know something? Oh, I'm going to change things again. So this has been a great exercise in redoing things over and over. But I very rarely get things the way I want it first time. So that's going to join it up, but that's okay. Gives them some options. I like to try to be realistic with curves, but sometimes that's not possible. Just looking to see if there's any others I've got to do. No, it looks like not. So I'll come out of underground mode. Oh yes, got these to do something with. I'm tempted to sacrifice this one. Have that curve there. That avenue is a bit of a pig though for me. I suppose you could have a terminal station here. This is going to be residential and I imagine it's going to be quite busy. Let's see what we've got. A small one. Small terminal. That's only got one, so that's no good. That looks alright. We'll keep this tight to the avenue here. No need for fancy plazas. This is just a way of getting people in and out of the city. They don't have any high-speed rail over here. I'll check the capacity. 50,000. That's not terrible. So one last thing I'll do is the drag pattern for the little switchovers. So you click, drag that as you normally do, and then you start here and you go back to the other track and up a little bit and you get that, which is very nice. I like it a lot. I think that actually looks better than the other ones I've got over here. So there we go, that's not too bad. I'll put another one in here. Gives them some options. I mean, they've got all sorts of options here actually. There should be ample transport connectivity when I do go to start zoning. So what I will do, this is definitely the end now. I'll just put some labels down to remind me what it is I want to do. I'll probably still play a bit tomorrow, but we'll see. Today being Wednesday evening, so we need to do junctions and turning lanes along there. I think we're good here. What are you saying now? I think maybe put a freight in there or something like that. Put another one of them. And our junctions, we've done quite a lot. I'll do some more avenue work offline, and then see what we could do. I have given myself some homework from the other day to try and get a different texture, or to work out the textures. I'll do that, and I'll just turn that off a second to look at my plans. So if I zoom out a little bit, so this area here is going to be mostly commercial, industrial around the outside, sort of residential here, and maybe a little bit of residential here along the seashore. So here I was going to try and put in a ground light rail station of a seaport, no, not a seaport, a ferry terminal. Have a few of them around. This isn't going to be safe for ferries, this is pleasure in small boats, and I'll probably put another one there and another one here. I'm going to try and give them some good travel. I think when I start offline I will start here, so this is where I will save. And then I will call that a night. So, how long have we been going for? An hour and 26. That's a lot of talking for me. I am actually a quite quiet person, and I really don't like the sound of my own voice. I detest it, in fact. Again, I'm not sure if it's entertaining, relaxing, or educational, or mix of three. I would find it educational and entertaining, because I don't watch my videos back, but I will quite happily watch other people's over and over again, in fact, get inspiration. And I'm not rushing. I might make that a bit nicer, actually. That's one of those things that's, yeah, I'm not doing it now, but it'll be one of those things that I say that I'm going to do and then I decide not to. But that is it for now, so thanks very much for watching, anyone who does, and I hope it's been entertaining and a little bit inspiring, and also quite laid back, and there's no rush to press play. This will get moving soon. There's only so many avenues you can lay down, and I'll do them off camera tomorrow night. Ciao.